have you been wondering what these pink buttons are that are all over the island in Hello Kitty Island Adventure? And why is it that when you step on them, they just spit out a bunch of flowers and a timer appears? Or have you been wondering how to get trophies for some visitor cabin requirements? Welcome back, and today I am going to tell you everything you need to know about the Island Challenge courses, including where every single one is and pro tips on how to finish all of them with plenty of time to spare. So sit back and relax, and let's just jump right into it. Island Challenge courses are located in every single biome in the game. They are timed challenges where you must collect all of the flowers, which are actually called athlete coins, before the timer runs out. These aren't just limited to the land either, since in the Rainbow Reef, there are its own set of challenges, but this time you will swim through rings instead of collecting the coins. For each and every challenge, there are 3 different levels. There's a bronze, silver, and gold level. After you beat each level, it will become a little bit more difficult by decreasing the time of the timer. So some of them get actually a little tricky when you get to gold, but later on in this video, I will tell you some tricks to beat all of them easily, since some are almost impossible to do without any special abilities or tricks. For each course that you finish for the first time, you get a trophy piece for the corresponding level. So if you finish the bronze for the first time, you'll get a bronze piece, silver, silver, gold, gold. Once you complete all of the challenges in a biome, you will be able to craft the trophy at Choco Cat's crafting table. The trophy crafting plan automatically gets given to you once you start doing the challenges in a specific biome. A few visitors require these trophies for their cabins, so making sure you complete all of the courses for one biome will allow you to make the trophy. You will get a piece of the trophy for the first time you finish a challenge course, and then you will need to do each one 3 times to get the bronze, silver, and gold pieces for each trophy. So what I like to do is, when I want to knock them all out, is I will just redo the same one 3 times in a row, so I can do it nice and efficient like that. Because if you just run around all the time and do all of the bronzes, then all of the silvers, then all of the golds, it's not as efficient if you just do all 3 at once. Then you can kind of get to know the route, so by the time you get to gold, you will be able to do it no problem. Because the bronze level is quite easy, you do get a lot of time, but once you get down to gold, some of them are really tricky. All this talk about some of them being tricky, let's move on to my biggest pro tips and some little tricks to beat any island challenge course. And yes, I am talking about the Caldera Plunge and the Sandbar Dart. First up, if you are a newer player, you will not be able to complete all of them easily. But the longer you play and the more you keep leveling up your friendships, the easier they will get from the companion abilities and other things that you will unlock as you play. So first up, if you only have the ability to bring one companion with you, I would 100% suggest Pom Pom Pudding if you have him at least friendship level 12. This is a quite high level of his friendship, but his ability called Slow and Steady adds an additional 5 seconds to the challenge course timer. This is honestly more helpful than you'd think 5 seconds would be. And when you have him with you, remember that you can always use a speedy walking potion or a speedy swimming potion as well. So some people prefer Pachaco, but honestly, if you can get those extra 5 seconds with Pom Pom Pudding, you can just take a potion that can replace Pachaco. But if you have 2 companions unlocked, if you don't know how to do that, I do have another video all about that, telling you which quests you have to complete and all that jazz. But so if you have 2 companions unlocked, I would suggest bringing, obviously, Pom Pom Pudding with you, and then one of the following, depending on which challenge you are trying to complete. Pachaco to run fast, Hangyudan to swim fast, and Retsuko to swim in molten lava. Pachaco's Speedy Walker ability unlocks at friendship level 8 and becomes more powerful later on with more friendship levels. Then for Hangyadan, his Speedy Swimmer ability unlocks at friendship level 5 and also becomes more powerful later on. And in addition, I don't think this is as important, but there are a few courses where you need to climb up a lot, especially on Mount Hothead and Gemstone Mountain, so bringing Peckle with you is a great idea if you struggle climbing fast, since at friendship level 7, his Speedy Climber ability unlocks, and this also powers up with more friendship levels. And one more thing about Pachaco, at friendship level 14, the Relay ability unlocks. This means that he will actively go and grab the athlete coins for you. He does go really slow, so if it is possible, you can try to run as far away from the start that you can, kind of like closer to the end, and then maybe Pachaco will start collecting them from the opposite side that you will go. But overall, this isn't that effective since you can easily beat most challenges with Pom Pom Pudding and Pachaco or a speedy walking potion. But I will show you one thing if you don't have Retsuko's lava ability yet. Doing the Caldera Plunge, Pachaco and this ability is a necessity. But yeah, I did a little experiment as well with one of the more difficult challenges in the Seaside Resort called Sandbar Dart. First up, look at how when I have no companion abilities and no potions, I cannot finish the gold level course in time. Now, when I add Pachaco, I can almost finish, but I still don't. Then if I bring just Pom Pom Pudding with me, I can finish in time. But that is even without a speedy walking potion or Pachaco. So let's see them both side by side. It seems like the speedy walking potion is just a tad bit faster than Pachaco, but it doesn't make that big of a difference. But yeah, in these examples, I did fall into the water with Pachaco, but I still did more tests without recording them, and I got the same result, where the speedy walking potion seems just a tad faster than his companion ability. So if you are really struggling with this, always try a speedy walking potion instead of Pachaco. But not 100% confirmed about that. That's just what I got from my little scientific experiment. So you willing to do some of these challenges in multiplayer quests? Remember, multiplayer is just like totally optional, and this is just to level up your friends, levels with them. It's all just like fun and games, you know? But yeah, you will often need to complete these island challenge courses together. To do this, make sure you both collect at least one athlete coin each before the timer runs out for it to count. So like you can't just run it once alone and then the other person. You need to be doing it together. So what I like to do is starting at the opposite ends. One player can press the button to see where the last coin will go, and then the second player can go to the end and then wait for the first player to press it again, and then you run towards the middle. That's the fastest way to do it, and it makes sure that you each get at least one coin. So it counts and you can complete the quest. So yeah, now let's go over all of the locations of all of the challenge courses throughout each biome. And after that, after I show all the maps I made, I will go more in depth on each one, giving you little tips on how to beat them all. And of course, please check my description and any pinned comments if there are any drastic changes to these courses or if new ones get added as they keep expanding the game. I guess that's just the perks of a live service game. But yeah, let's get into these maps. In the Seaside Resort, you can find 7 challenge courses. In the Spooky Swamp, there are 8 in total. In the Rainbow Reef, there are 6 of them, all located underwater. On Gemstone Mountain, there are 9 in total. Then over on Mount Hothead, we've got only 6, including the couple that are like more near the hot springs little area. In the Merry Meadow, we can also find 6 of them there. On the Icy Peak, More specifically, on the Snow Village level, there are also 6 of them. On Cloud Island, there are also 6 as well. And last but not least, on City Town, so far at the time of making this video, there are only 6. So now let me go through each and every single one, and I will just tell you anything specific you need to know about completing them. So first up, let's go through all of the Seaside Resort ones. First up, the Resort Roundabout. This one is obviously very easy, and it's one of the first ones you need to do in multiplayer friend quests. So this one, I know I always have one person start in the middle in the plaza, and then the other person presses the button, and then we just run towards each other. But yeah, it's very easy. Next up, let's go over and do the Seashore Sprint. This one is also super easy as well. And I do think it does give you plenty of time, even if you don't have Pom Pom Pudding with you. And the Grassy Hill Hustle. This one is also pretty easy as well. It is another one that you do early on with multiplayer Just start tasks. At the opposite ends and it's easy peasy. Now the Sandbar Dart, which I talked about earlier in this video, is pretty hard to do without Pom Pom Pudding's extra 5 seconds. So make sure to have him on level 12, I believe. Now the Visitor Island Chase. Yeah, don't forget that the Seaside Resort ones aren't just on that main little island. They're also near the Cozy Islands and the Hopscotch Islands and even Moon Island. So we're gonna go all over there right now. So the Moon Island Marathon, this one, you start on that small island and you just go all the way around the moon. And that's it. It's super easy as well. So you don't need to worry about this one. In general, you don't need to worry about a lot of them. But yeah, the Small Island Shuffle though, this one can get you a little tripped up sometimes because of all of the hopping to all of the different small islands. I know I almost take a wrong turn a few times here, but I still finish it no problem with Pom Pom Pudding and his extra 5 seconds. So kind of him, you know. Now let's move on to the next one. In the Spooky Swamp, let's start with the Lily Pad Leap. This could be hard if you are a brand new character and you don't have the flippers yet, because if you fall in the water, you may just be teleported out of it, you know? So that could make it really hard to finish. But yeah, for the most part, having those flippers is super early game and easy to get. I almost ran out of time here, but I still finished with lots of pretty good time. Now for this next one, this one is also the same kind of vibes. Don't fall in the water if you don't have the flippers, and just follow the little flower path. Now the Swamp Plaza Scamper. This one is also with the multiplayer quests, and it is kind of long, so I do like to have one person on the end for sure to do this one. Because remember, you each need to get at least 1 athlete coin for it to count with the multiplayer stuff. Now let's do the Hedge Maze one. Sometimes I'll get a little tripped up here as well and accidentally want to turn another way, but just try and follow the path. Sometimes it's a little difficult to see where the next one is on the screen because they may be placed a little far apart for you to see in the specific direction the next one is. But yeah, using the mini map also always helps. And if you're really losing your mind over not being able to complete one because you just don't know where to go next, I would press the button and then look at the big map maybe, because then you can see the whole trajectory of the path for the challenge, and then try and make a little mental map of okay, I'm turning this way and then this way, and yeah. In general, these aren't too hard at all, and they do just take practice sometimes, especially if you don't have all of those abilities unlocked. Now let's dive underwater and go through the Rainbow Reef ones. The Underpass Paddle is easy peasy. Definitely the Rainbow Reef ones are the easiest in my opinion. You just need to swim through those rings, and it is a little slow because it does take a while to go through all of them, and a lot of them do seem quite long compared to the ones on land, but it's no big problem. The Reef Arch Bridge as well you just swim through the little trench and go through all the rings. The sunken ship one, this one just kind of goes around the pirate ship. Make sure to go down because sometimes they get a little lower or higher, especially on this one. So if you're just stuck really high the whole time, you might be missing them, but don't worry too much. Now the kelp maze, obviously located in the kelp maze, and you're just traversing through the maze, getting through all of these little rings. And yeah, for this one, definitely the mini map does help kind of get which direction to go in because it is kind of hard to see with all of the kelp in the maze. The comedy club one as well, you just kind of circle around it and vibe. But yeah, remember you can always take the speedy diving potion, I believe, helps you dive faster. The speedy swimming one usually just helps you swim faster on the surface. And there is also something that's like pretty late game that you get that helps you swim extra fast, the speedy flippers, which just in general helps you go a little bit faster. Now let's move on to Gemstone Mountain. There are 9 of these. So let's start off with the Oasis Race. This one did take me a long time to do when I first started out, and I didn't bring Pom Pom Pudding with me because that was before we could have 2 companions, and I would always just try and use Pachaco because I was struggling so hard. But yeah, definitely Pom Pom Pudding on this one with a speedy walking potion or Pachaco. The Cactus Garden Chase as well is pretty easy. Just make sure you are following around and looking on the mini map to see where to go. It's like some of the ones where you have to fall down. It's like, where do I go? I don't want to go the wrong way. But yeah, just practice makes perfect, and don't worry. The Gemstone Bridge Bolt. This one gets a little tricky with all of the jumping. Some of them on Gemstone do with the jumping get a little tricky, especially if you do have Pom Pom Pudding. His Pudding Pants ability that helps you jump extra high. I don't know if it helps or hinders sometimes, especially in like a speed challenge, because the jumping does seem to slow you down just a little bit. But I do think the 5 seconds he gives you makes up for it. The Corral Stampede as well. I was getting a little lost doing this one, but yeah, it's the ones where you have to like fall down a level. It's just like, where do I go? I can't see, you know? Or the ones where you have to climb up, that's also gets difficult. But like I said earlier in the video, you can take Peckle with you because Peckle can help you climb faster. I don't use him ever for that ability because I think you can get all of these done without him. But yeah, the Down Mountain Descent. Yeah, I got a little lost there on that corner, but it's kind of funny. And yeah, of course, like falling down, it's like, where do I go? How far do I fall? But yeah, obviously practice makes perfect, and you don't have to do it all exactly perfect to be able to finish on time. You see, this is another one where we climb a lot, but it's a short one. Yeah, and also if you don't have a lot of stamina as well, that could also hurt you. So making sure you get all of these stamina apple slices will help you in general. This one too, the Donut Pond Splashdown. I do like having Pom Pom Pudding for this one because of his jumps. It does just make you a little slow though. And it's like, I don't know if I should glide or just fall, you know? But the timing is not an issue on this one, so don't worry too much. Now for the ones on Mount Hothead. The Caldera Plunge, like I said, is one of the most difficult ones if you don't have all of the abilities. So I'm just going to show you with Pachaco here when he has the ability that makes him collect the coins for you. So like you should aim for the ones at the end and then start jumping into the ones on the middle, and then hopefully you will just like meet at the last one. But yeah, that was my first try doing it and I was able to do it. But then here you can look at the difference it makes with Retsuko's ability to swim in the lava. It's obviously so much better, especially if you are going to take a speedy swimming potion and a speedy walking potion as well, just to help give you that extra boost. But yeah, this is the one where you definitely need Retsuko, and a few of these other ones on Mount Hothead where you have to like jump over the small rocks in the lava. If you tend to fall in a lot, bringing Retsuko could also be a good idea for those. Like the Hothead Hotfoot one right here. Sometimes if you always fall in the lava, bringing her with you would not be a bad idea. But I do just prefer Pom Pom Pudding and Pachako. The lava rock drop, this one is another one where it's like you have to be kind of careful when you're falling down, or you may miss the ones that you want, because it would be really difficult to like go back up and then down again with the time constraint, and it would just make more sense to like start over completely. But yeah, the Ruins Reach, another climbing one. So making sure you have enough stamina is key for this. And now for the Mountainside Slide. This one may take practice as well, especially when you drop down. Sometimes you just might miss it, you know? But don't worry about that. Now in the Merry Meadow. These ones are easy peasy, and don't forget that you can always take a speedy swimming potion for the Beanstalk Blast Off. With or without, you'll still be able to finish in time, even the gold level. But yeah, I feel like for a lot of them too, if you don't want to use abilities and challenge yourself, you may just be able to do it anyways without these abilities. But I usually just tend to bring someone with me just to make it easier and not stress so much. But if you do want a stressful time, not having any potions or companion abilities would be a little stressful, and you may just have to like clear those lines up, you know, and go more narrow on turns and stuff. But maybe I will do that as a challenge one day, trying to get all of the gold without any abilities. But oof, that's a little brutal for me even. I do love a good challenge though, so maybe I'll think about it. Doing some speed running. And I don't know if I said this earlier, I don't think I did, but for me, what's easiest is to not play on a touchscreen. So for all y'all Apple Arcade people, I would recommend playing on a computer where you can use the keyboards, or if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, you can hook up Joy-Cons if you do have a Switch, and lots of other Bluetooth controllers work as well. So I would definitely recommend doing those instead of the touchscreen ones, because it just helps so much with the jumping and turning and everything. But yeah, now onto Cloud Island. Beware, because there is a lot of jumping over gaps on this one, where if you fall down, you will just like have to restart, because if you fall off the clouds, you just fall down, you know? And one of them towards the end, where you have to go up on one of those air vents, it's really difficult to do when Pom Pom Pudding is your companion. I don't know why, it shouldn't be like this, I don't think, but when he's your companion, the Pudding Pants high jumping ability really hinders you to be able to ride those air blasts up. I don't know why, but sometimes you just may have to ask him that you don't want him with you anymore for those ones. You'll still be able to finish, no worries on those. But yeah, so just be aware of that. Sometimes I'll just like try and it's like, why can't I ride the air up? But then I make Pom Pom Pudding go away, and then I can do it just like easy peasy. But yeah, it's kind of a little tip I've got there for y'all. Just something to watch out for if you are struggling really hard with those ones, because that's probably why. It's probably him. And the jumping. It's probably the jumping ability. Like the jet stream glide, this one was almost impossible to do with him. I don't think I actually was able to get up there when I had Pom Pom Pudding as my companion. But yeah, I did ask him to go away, and then I was able to finally do it with just Pochacco as my companion. Do you think it has something to do with jumping too high for you to like catch the air, you know? So like if you're too high up, you're not going to be affected by it. Now let's go to the Icy Peak ones. These ones are all new as of making this video, you know? So I am doing all of these for the first time in this video. So that's why I'm actually getting trophy pieces as rewards instead of just random items. Because you only get the trophy pieces the first time you complete a challenge course for a specific level. One thing I do like too about having Pochacco with you is that if you do miss one when you're running, he will go behind you and get it, or even just any companion in general, since they follow you where you go. So sometimes you don't have to go back and get one if you just miss one, because your companion will most likely get it for you. And see, like I fell there and I still passed because my companion fell and got it after me. Falls Peak Circuit. This one has a lot of climbing too, so make sure you've got all your stamina and peckle and everything, but this is pretty late game, so you should have those unlocked by now. If not, that's impressive. Snow climb like an ice climb. I do love the name of that. But yeah, these ones have little climby ones too, so if you do struggle, peckle could help you, or the stamina recharge, where the stamina goes up faster. The trust leap. This one was a little difficult because obviously it's a trust leap. It's like, how far should I glide? How high to get all of the athlete coins? But yeah, if you are a little high, you can just kind of like float back a little and go a little slower so you can actually catch them all. Now let's go to City Town. So far, as of making this video, we only have that main city town area unlocked and it has not been expanded yet. So in the future, I will probably make a video with all of the new ones and any tips about those. But for now, just check the pinned comments and my description if any new ones have come out. And I do love these ones because it has Usahana's little flower as the athlete coin. And for the most part, these ones are generally easy too. There's nothing too special about them, except maybe crawling up the pipes. Those ones are a little tricky, and they've made it a bit easier than it used to be, because now if you jump on them, you don't necessarily fall off right away. You can just like keep jumping up when you climb to go a little faster. So that's really helpful, because it used to be that if you tried to like jump when you climbed, you would just fall off. But yeah, that is super nice and super helpful. And yeah, kind of like one of the other ones too. For this one, if you're gliding a little too high, you can kind of just like spin around in a circle and wait for yourself to fall to be the right level to keep going. And yeah, there are a couple here that involve swimming, so having a speedy swimming potion could be helpful. You don't have to dive or anything, you just need to swim on the surface. But with Pom Pom Pudding, I had no issue with time on any of the city town ones. But yeah, that's all of the challenge courses, and I hope this video was helpful. I really hope that you can finish them all. Nice aspect to the game that gives you just a little something else to do and aim for. But I am also a fan of just like knocking them all out at like one time, you know? But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!